Russ, talk about San Antonio sports and what you guys have going on in this wonderful city of ours.
Well, a lot of things happening at San Antonio sports. Get ready for the Rock and Roll Marathon, which is coming up. Have our I Play After School program in full gear in 58 elementary schools, and we have the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB coming up in January 4th in the Dome.
One program, however, really stands out. Through the backing of great supporters like Methodist Healthcare and partnerships with area school districts, San Antonio Sports is able to make an impactful difference in our high schools. One of the programs that we've looked at this year was Beyond the Game over at the Northside School District. Talked with Stan Lang earlier about this program. Talk about your involvement with the establishment of that fantastic program.
My father-in-law happens to be a guy named Grant Taff, who is a legendary coach and wrote a number of books, including a book called Beyond the Game, in which he really worked on some of the socio-economic issues nationwide with collegiate players and what coaches had to deal with kids that were coming from fatherless homes, some of the issues they all faced. And he compiled a book that really talked about some of these issues, but also created some key significant pillars that he told coaches, here are some of the things you can be doing based on the research and feedback from coaches nationwide. So Grant was invited by Stan Lang to come to Northside and share his findings and share the content of that book. Northside ended up really buying into the Beyond the Game platform. We've got coaches really trying to teach these values to their players: responsibility and respect and service, and things outside of the game itself. And we developed a program that is called Beyond the Game. So what our goal was is try to expand the reach of those stories. And hopefully over a period of time, more and more kids, parents would say, hey, that's really neat what they did, is that there's something that we can do along that same line. So we've gone from 20 stories submitted in the first year to over 40 in year two, and now we're not even done, and we're over 60 stories that have been submitted from about 36 different schools.
That isn't the only substantive program San Antonio Sports uses as a platform to support high school athletics. The High School Football All-Star Game is another great example. Talk about the involvement of San Antonio Sports in that memorable contest for all those seniors.
It's a celebration of the best athletes. We have 61 high schools represented, 110 athletes. And the fact that we can bring all of those communities together in the Alamo Dome under one roof to celebrate the accomplishments, because those kids have been playing since they were 6, 7 years old. So we've seen kids get scholarships right after that game by FCS D2 schools. Helps pay for their education. I think last year we had 69 of the players who are actually playing college football this year.
And the great thing about that football game is it represents the values of San Antonio sports. This game is rooted in fairness and opportunity. An opportunity for those that wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity like that. We talked about Gibby Garza, the young running back at Central Catholic, who is going to have an opportunity to be seen by a wide range of college scouts, football coaches, different universities. This game is rooted in fairness and opportunity.
We start seeing the character brought out. Players that are in 2A or private schools all the way up to 6A, and we see a good balance of that. It's going to be heavy in 5A and 6A, we know that, but you'll see representation. We've had 6-man football players represented in this game because they were outstanding athletes and high quality kids.
What's it like knowing that this organization that you lead makes such a positive impact on individuals of a wide range of ages?
I think that the team of people we have, the board that we have, the support from the community, those are all building blocks towards our mission to transform the community through the power of sport. After school programs in 58 elementary schools for underserved kids, to the men's Final Four that came in 2018, to high school all-star games, Beyond the Game, all of those things that we do that make an impact, and you see the outcomes of kids smiling, of people having a great time, of kids learning. We put in a lot of hours and a lot of work as a group, but it gets paid off greatly when we see the successes of all the programs that we have.